Hi everybody, welcome back to Starfield Raw. This is episode number 66. It almost feels like a cursed episode. We're one number shy of it being cursed, so we're good. It's only partially maybe cursed. I am Joe the Wigit.
Order 66.
Right. And I am joined by my fellow co-host, the Space Trucker extraordinaire, Kilo.
There it is. How's it going, man?
We are adjusting his microphone. It's a lot better than it was last week, but because that was mostly my fault with the really, really, really bad internet. But I am recording from home, so we're solid.
That sounds like the hotel's fault, but all right.
Yeah. Having really bad internet in my room. It was a nice room, but the internet was not nice. I had to actually take out my hotspot that I have with work. The cell signal was terrible in the room as well.
Oh, it does.
So I was getting low 4G, like 2 bars. So I had to move it all the way to the window of the hotel room to get to 3 bars and managed to squeak out 10 gigs. The actual hotel's internet was doing a whopping 3. So we would not have recorded if I had to do that. We are recording a little early this week because we have things to do this week. So we're actually recording on Tuesday. You all are going to hear this on the normal Friday. And I highly recommend checking out our other show, Raw and Nerdy. We had our 1-year anniversary episode that released on Monday, which yesterday according to here, but yeah, 4 days. It's a whole weird time thing. It's like a paradox. We did talk about the future of Raw Podcast. Raw Podcast is like our parent company, if you will, that myself, Rook, Archon, and Kilo all do together. And we're going to be introducing at least 1 or 2 new shows coming in the near future. So if you're interested in that and want to get involved in that, check out that episode. And we'll keep you guys posted as we figure out those new shows, exactly what we're going to do.
And we're open for suggestions, too. We're interested in seeing what the audience would like to hear.
Very much so. Let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of the show.
Yeah,
we're here to talk about Starfield. And we are still recording live in our Discord. We haven't had too many people show up recently, but that's okay. We love you guys anyway. Thankfully, though, I was worried about recording on Tuesday because Bethesda likes to drop bombs on Wednesdays. Turns out they decided to drop the bomb on us this morning. And it's a decent little bomb. I was happy. Not the huge content patch I was looking for, but it wasn't bad. They released their November update, and it was live this morning. They gave us no pre-warning, no mention of it at all. Just said, here it is, have fun. So the usual Bethesda routine lately.
Right.
And what they gave us was 2 free creations that they did. One of them is a new vehicle. And I don't know how to pronounce this. The Demog? Demog? Yeah.
Oh.
DEIMOG. And they claim it's faster and has more armor than the Rev 8. But I did give it a test run this morning while I was on break at work. So I'm going to talk about that later on. Well, actually, no, I can talk about it right now. What the heck am I doing?
Why don't we talk about it right now?
Yeah. I went and bought it. I went into the game, and I thought I was going to drop credits on it. And I have very few credits to buy because I just bought the Rev 8 in my game finally. I think I had like 10,000 credits. I didn't think I was going to get a chance to do it without, cheating. But it turns out you get it for free.
Well, like free in the game even.
Yeah.
And
as long as you have the Rev 8, it's there. You can just select it.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I pulled that bad boy out and went around Varun Kai with it. And turns out I didn't see much of a difference when it came to the actual base speed. It felt very much similar to the Rev 8. However, the boosting, it's a lot faster than the Rev 8.
Oh, okay.
The boost engines look cooler. I think the car itself looks cooler.
It does look really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't have like the climbability or jump that the Rev 8 has, but it is fast. You can haul butt with that thing when you're boosting. And the weapon on it is so much better than Rev 8. It's a missile launcher.
It's a missile launcher. Fantastic.
And I would be going around because I play on Extreme. The other Rev 8, I could barely even scratch enemies when I'm driving that car. This one, 3 or 4 hits, done. Dead. So it's like a little mini tank that has incredible boost.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a case of Bethesda listening to the fans because they know lack of speed and the weapon were both issues with the Rev 8 when it first dropped.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
The only thing I could think about using the Rev 8 over the Demog or Dimog or whatever you want to call it is for the Rev 8's jump ability. It definitely feels like it has a much better vertical boost.
Oh, okay.
And it's more bouncy. But I felt like I got better traction with the Dimog, but it doesn't turn as tight as the Rev 8.
Have you tried it on low gravity planets?
No, I only had time to really try it on Varun Kai.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And it turns out, guys, that I think my game was bugged in my last playthrough because I was using the Rev 8 Varun Kai, and it didn't feel like I was on a point two gravity anymore. It felt very Earth-like gravity. It felt a lot better, handled a lot better. So I think my game was bugged.
I mean, that's a relief.
Unless they fix something in the background and tell us. Yeah.
It's also possible, yeah.
But a lot of people were saying that they didn't have that problem that I had.
I never had that issue on Varun Kai. Anyways, I remember. I think we talked about this before. I was just zooming around like I was in the Warthog and Halo. I was right at home. I had no issue running down phantoms and stuff. It was great.
So I like the new vehicle. I think it's pretty awesome. I didn't get a chance to try the perfect recipe, which is the other creation quest. It's actually a quest pack.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. I was just reading a little bit of it in the article. I think Nixter posted in the Discord, and I was reading about it. I'm like, really? Okay. I'm super intrigued by it. I definitely want to give it a shot.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
But I also have something else that is quest related that I have to do as well, and we'll get into that a little bit later.
Okay. The suspense is killing me.
The suspense.
I had some more fun in my game today, or this week. I did. I didn't get to play today as I wanted to. I was too busy at work. And they did do some performance fixes in the game. Nothing that was really hugely notable. I'm looking at the patch notes right now. They did add some lip sync animation data in the creation kit, so you modders will have better improved facial expressions if you're doing NPCs.
Oh yeah. I've how many mods have I read that the guys were like, hey, just to note, the lip sync isn't exactly on point, blah blah blah. So that I knew that's the one that the modders are looking for.
It's out. It's available. And they basically said that there's general performance and stability improvements. They didn't go into any details about that. They did keep the uncapped frame rate option for Xbox Series X. The message of the day now displays more consistently on the Xbox, address an issue where some console commands did not disable certain achievements. Aw, that's a bummer. Featured space or Shutter Space will now show ownership correctly for Steam users. That was the big thing. And they did some quest fixes and some gameplay fixes. Mostly they did a lot with the Trackers Alliance, so that's cool. And yeah, and they dropped these two goodies. I'm gonna get in and play the perfect recipe before the next episode.
Yeah.
And give it a shot. Of course I downloaded it. Looks fun.
Naturally.
And the Daimog is gonna be my vehicle.
I think it's Daimog. I want to say it's Daimog because it looks like I don't know, a relation to Dame. Well, I'm only thinking is that's Deimos. Yeah.
Deimos, yeah. Because it does say Deimos on the vehicle.
Yeah, there was something else that I just had in my mind, and it absolutely, completely escaped me.
That's scary.
I will remember it. When we are done recording, because that's how it goes.
Naturally.
It was something I wanted to bring up. You talked about it, and then it's just gone.
Roke did tell me he's going to be doing another log this week.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but it should be in. You guys will hear at the end of the episode if it is. If not, well...
I gotta say, the new logs that he just started, I think I'm enjoying these new ones more than the ones he was doing previously.
Well, he said in his last log that he's role-playing his main character now. And previously, it was a different character, but now he's doing his main character, and he's trying to do it differently. And I think he's doing like you said, he's doing a really good job with it.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
I mentioned last week about the weapon levels, the weapon tiers. It does exist. I know that for 100% fact. However, I know the levels, the different tiers where the different guns unlock, but there is literally no information regarding what weapons drop or unlock at what level.
Oh,
I looked surprising. All over. All I could find was only some of them. Like, for instance, the first tier is level 1, obviously, and you get the Maelstrom, Coachman, Lawgiver, the Eon, and the Kraken at level 1. At level 10, we know that the old Earth weapons unlock at that point. So the rifle, the shotgun. At level
the AK-47.
Yeah.
Stuff,
at level 25, the AA-99 unlocks.
Okay.
At level 40 is the next tier, and the hard target unlocks. And then level 50 is the final tier, and that's the XM2311. I've seen it go both ways. Some people said it unlocks at 40, some said at 50. I don't know for sure.
You didn't hear the Beowulf in there.
Yeah, there's a miniguns not listed in this because I don't have that information. And a lot of it was speculation. A lot of people were saying, well, I think these weapons unlock at this level, these ones unlock at this level. And I think the Beowulf was a level 10 unlock, was a speculation, 10 or 25.
Okay.
And when you reach that level gap,
right. I think it's 25.
And when you reach that level gap, the guns will unlock in shops and drops. You have a better chance, like if you just hit 25 and you're looking for an A99, go to a shop and you should find them there a lot easier than a drop.
Find them. Right on. Got you.
But the other thing I found that was very interesting that I did get some definitive answers on that I wasn't even paying attention properly. After I learned all this stuff, I went into my game and started looking at my equipment to see what I had.
Okay.
But there, on top of the unlock tiers, there's actual gun weapon tiers for like quality. And we all know this, but I have the actual levels and the progression of these tiers.
Okay.
So with guns, you have
That's
your none,
interesting.
which is level 1. At level
Right.
10, you start getting calibrated weapons.
Okay.
Level 25, it's refined. And then the final one is advanced at level 40 plus. And I looked at my hard target, my legendary one, and it's an advanced hard target.
Okay. Yeah.
Almost all my weapons are advanced because I'm a level 127.
I didn't know that there was. I didn't know. Yeah, that's like multiple tiers inside of that system.
There
That's
is one tier that is higher than advanced, but it's only for suits, helmets, and packs, and that's superior.
That's cool.
Yeah. And the same tiers for melee weapons is none, sharpened at level 10, honed at level 25, and quantum edge at 40.
Okay. Now we know what those mean because I
Yeah.
had no idea.
I'm going to be looking at that because if I don't get an advanced weapon, I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And it does make a big difference. Because I did have a superior, I had a refined and an advanced of the same weapon type, and there was a big difference in the damage output.
Okay.
I say it's at least 15 to 20% difference.
That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah, but once you get to level 100, I believe it's like a 90% drop rate for advanced. So most weapons you get, if they don't say calibrated, refined, or advanced, they're just simple none, tier 1.
Right. I haven't seen any of those in forever.
I have 2 in my inventory.
Oh, dear.
They're not being used, but I have them.
Right. They're there. Gotcha.
So that is your weapon information that I can find, and I really, really want to find out exactly what weapons unlock at what levels. I'm very, very curious about that because it's a very known fact, it's documented, that there are those 5 tiers where weapons unlock, but I don't know.
There's got to be. It surprises me that there's not something out there at this point.
Yeah, and they're saying that there's one more tier now with Shattered Space, that's level 35, because that's supposedly when the new Varun weapons unlock.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
I've
I
seen
guess.
people getting them before that by going there, so I don't think that's really true.
Right. Right. I did figure out what I was going to talk about with this update
Oh, yeah,
that you
go.
mentioned. So you talked about the general update that was addressed an issue where some console commands do not disable certain achievements.
Correct.
It was also one of the things in the article that I had read earlier today. This might have been in our Discord too, but some of the creation mods, especially the, what do you call them? The certified or confirmed or whatever, like the Bethesda approved mods, a lot of them are no longer going to affect your achievements, but you have to go and look. And even if a mod that you have is now on that list, it does not retroactively restore achievements. You would have to start a brand new game. So keep an eye out for that in the mod descriptions when you guys are getting your mods.
Yeah, when they talked about the November update, they released a statement saying, as well as a highly requested achievement toggle for creations.
Yeah.
I think that's important to note.
Yeah.
You're
definitely.
right. I completely forgot about that.
It's all good, man. That's why we're a team, brother.
Exactly.
Speaking of mods and glitching, I have to bring this up because I don't know where the heck else to put this in the in our little program here, in our notes. I'm not really sure where it's going to fall, but I was on Facebook earlier today on Bethesda Gaming group, whatever, and this guy said he went into the shipbuilder to edit his ship. He got out of the shipbuilder. His character was male, and then he went into his newly modified ship, and all of a sudden his character was female. And nobody has any clue why it happened.
Oh, yeah.
It's just bizarre. It's just a bizarre little glitch that I heard about. I'm like, kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I'm like, oh.
There were some things that I wanted to bring up from our community. Our
Yeah,
Discord, the place to be, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want to join in, join us in recording, you can just watch or participate. Discord.gg/raw podcasts. And if you can't find it, we have links to it in all our social media.
Yep.
So Drasilis in our Discord, he brought up about the automation for Outposts that we brought up on our last episode.
Oh, okay. What do you have to say?
He says he only does it mostly to gain XP manually crafting. He never really bothered to build farming automation because he confirmed you do miss the XP gains.
The article, or what was that? Where did I get that from? My brain is toast today. But anyways, yeah, it was an article. Yeah, it was an article. It was the 1,000 hours, 1,000, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he used an auto hotkey
Mm.
It wasn't actual mod or it wasn't actually automation. It was he just told his computer he just keep pressing this key over and over again.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was also thinking about it. I didn't bring it up on the show last week, so spaced it. But there is one reason I can think, other than to sell, to make money for automation, is if you're crafting the more advanced parts that require other crafted parts to
Yeah,
make, you can
right.
auto create those sub parts that you need to make it.
Oh yeah, that'd be the way to go. Is there any way? I know nothing about. We know this. I know nothing about Outpost Build. Is there a way to feed those parts into a different machine that will then put it all together? Or do you have to like transfer everything over manually?
Yeah, you can. It's all on how you direct your
Gotcha.
equipment to go into. Yeah, it gets complicated.
Sounds like it. Sounds cool though.
Mossy was wondering if Outpost would have been more of a necessity if they kept the game how it was originally designed to be more of a survival.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot of what people are saying. H3 would have been a huge component because you need fuel for your ship at that point.
Right. Right.
What I'm wondering though, he brought up another cool point, is if what if they had it to where you had to fabricate replacement parts for your ship when it got damaged?
Like your ship parts.
Yeah, and you
Like
had to go
instead
to
of
your
having like a
outpost.
crate on board, yeah, you'd
Yeah,
have to limp home, and that would be cool.
actually craft your ship parts and then fix your ship.
Right. That would actually be really cool and in depth. I
It'd be
mean,
cool
you'd
if it
have,
was an option.
yeah, it would have to be an option because you'd have to be able to buy the parts elsewhere and then make it worth it building the outpost in order to actually work on your own ship like Grease Monkey style.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm all for having the option to become more survivable, like requiring H3 and doing more manual stuff. That would be cool, but I want it to be an optional thing, like they've been doing.
Right. That's what they did with like Fallout too.
Yeah,
Same thing. And I don't know, is that plausible? Do you think
it
that's
is.
something that they can do? Make it an optional survival mode where you have to
I think it's very
do all these
plausible
things?
because they've already mentioned early on that that was the original design. So the code has to be in there.
Right, right.
They just don't dump code. They just disable things. So oftentimes they'll have these plans in the design document for systems and features of the game, and they'll work on them and work on them. But when the deadline gets closer and these features tend to break other aspects of the game that are more important, they'll just turn
Right.
those things off. They don't get rid of them. All the assets are still there. They just turn them off.
Like that.
And oftentimes they'll actually work on it as the game's released. And if they get it working correctly, they can often release it as an update.
I think I've only had a ship damaged badly enough one time to actually have to go to a technician and say, "Hey, fix my ship. Here's 10 grand or whatever." It would be really cool, yeah, if you had that option to limp your way home
Mm-hmm.
and be able to actually like, or even land on a deserted planet. Well, then you're talking about possibility of internal. You have a workshop like in the ship. That's an option to have a workshop. Why can't you land on a planet and fix your
It'd be
ship
cool
and
is that when you
you
start a
know?
new game, a new character,
Yeah,
they give you the option to go survival or standard.
yeah,
I would totally make a
yeah,
character for a survival game. Have a complete survival aspect of it. I think that would be awesome to be able to do both.
yeah. I could get it. I could get into it if it's optional.
That'd be amazing. You want to get into our play of the week?
Our
What we've
play
been
of the
up to?
week.
What have we been up to in game?
Your play of the week is the Lions over the Jaguars.
No,
Um,
that was a boring game. No, it was the Bills and
the Bills.
the Bills and Chiefs,
That
man.
was
That was
good.
the game.
That was a great game. That was a great game. Yeah, we can get into our play a little bit here. Let's see. Well, this might come as a surprise, listeners.
That's a good
Started
way to
off the
start
week
it.
with started started off the week with mod issues.
Oh, there's a
So
shocker.
yeah, right. So I loaded in the game and I have the outfit replacer for Sarah, which is like the short jacket and the t-shirt that shows the midriff kind of thing on Sarah, and her midriff was not there. So I it was it I was kind of just immediately I was hot. I'm like, there's no freaking
Not
way,
again. This can't happen
not
again.
again. Like I just fixed it all. And so I go into my load order, and what I notice is that this is actually really bizarre. I go into my load order, and there I'm going through I'm going through everything bit by bit, and it's a big load order. Maybe on a future episode I'll share my entire load order. But I noticed that, and we had this conversation last week. Remember where I switched everything over to vanilla?
Right.
I got rid of the VBB stuff. I got because it was that was what was causing problems last time. I went to vanilla, and when I went into maybe you can explain this to me. When I went in there, I had Crimson X and Varun X, both were vanilla. When I went in to look at it, they were both VBB.
Hmm.
Now, Zone 79 dropped another one, which was Varun X Z, as in ZBB, ZBB, ZBB.
Right.
And I remember reading a note on one of his descriptions where he was planning on turning all of his meshes into ZBB. So what I'm wondering is if he spent the weekend working on his mod and somehow it forced over. Is that
Uh,
something that could happen?
yeah, it very well could if he's using the same code.
So it would automatically just kick out of vanilla into VBB.
It's very possible, yeah, depending on load order and things
Because
like that.
yeah, because when I went into the load order to check all this out, when I'm like, well, that's not right. I left that. I went actually, I was in my library, but I went back to my load order and everything was scrambled. I just spent like an hour putting everything back in order, and the only thing that were changed were those two. So ultimately, I got rid of Varun X and Crimson X. I can't say I got rid of all of his mods because the replacer for yeah, they're all by the same guy. I wonder if that has something to do with it. They have a
Quite
replacer
possible.
for yeah, they have a replacer for Noelle and another one for Sarah, and they have the one for Andrasia.
He's all he's doing
And
is copying his source code.
those are all yeah, but those ones are working. So I don't know, but I got
Could
it
very
back
well
where
just
it was
be
working again.
it could be just a bug with that particular character. I don't know.
Well, no, because I was starting to see, yeah, it was just Andrasia. Or no, it was just Sarah. Everybody else in New Atlantis was normal because I was running around New Atlantis at the time. So everybody else was fine. But it was just Sarah at that point, which I thought was weird. So my best theory was like, yeah, he was working on his stuff over the weekend and that's what we got. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
probably. Hard to say for
I
sure.
fixed it. Yeah. But I fixed it and everything's good now. And I got myself a couple more new mods.
Of course you did.
Of course I did, because I have no self control. I got well, because the whole reason I had Varun X and Crimson X in the first place was because I wanted to do, like it was for my character, just my character. It wasn't for anybody else. I wasn't putting it on my crew or anybody. I just wanted to use it to make a cool outfit for my character. Because as cool as a lot of the outfits and things are in the game, I didn't want to wear something that was like from the first or from Crimson Fleet or UC or anything like that. Like everything's got tends to have like badging on it, with the exception of the what is it? I think it's like the Space Rogue or something like that. I can't remember that set of clothing. You can come across. I think
You would know
you
better
pick
than
it up.
I.
Yeah, I think you pick it up more than you do like find it or anything, but or and find it in stores. Anyways, I didn't have anything in the game that really popped out at me, and even in creations, there's not a lot. However, I did find craftable blackout themed outfits, and it looks super cool. I actually put up pictures in the Discord that has a couple of the outfits from it, and they're blackout themed. You got a little white skull emblem, and you can have camo or you can have complete blackout, and they look really sweet. So that's what my character is wearing.
That's where we're the exact opposite, and I get harped on all the time about this. Like I never care about my look ever. It's just always been the way I've been in these games, and
Yeah.
I don't care if my character looks like some evil, twisted McDonald's overweight clown. As long as my suit gives me plus 20 to stealth, I'm cool.
See,
It's all
yeah,
about the
you got
stats.
the Hello Kitty helmet and
Right, exactly.
the Ronald McDonald shield, and no, I
The
can't do it.
swiper
Like even
backpack.
I couldn't do it. Like Skyrim, I remember learning to craft in Skyrim specifically because I couldn't have my armor set. It has to match, and I don't know what that is about me. I don't know what that says about me as a human being, but it's got I. That's
Nothing bad.
part of my character, man. So if you're looking for a good one, I believe that one's like $4, and you get a
Okay.
lot of cool outfits that are all craftable at the industrial workstation.
I
I got a
keep
couple other ones.
forgetting to download the Avantech race yards. I keep forgetting to download that one.
Dude, the parts are awesome. Did you look in the shipbuilder
Yeah.
channel? Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That was kind of like more proof of concept, but yeah, he added a lot of great stuff. And now his engine, we're talking about Bryn, friend of the show, Bryn. Now his engines have actual exhaust and exhaust rails. And when we interviewed him, he was working on learning how to do that. So he did
Right.
figure that out.
I gotta be honest though, I'm not a big fan of the new cockpit he put in there.
I haven't actually attached it to anything.
In the pictures, I wasn't a big fan of how it looked. I just couldn't come up with any designs in my head that would fit that. But the rest of the parts, I like a lot from what I've seen.
Yeah. Everything's really cool, and his engines are much better balanced. The new ones, I mean. So Aventech Race Yard, that's a big thumbs up. I highly recommend it.
I was trying to see. I'm in my new game now, and I gotta build a new ship. 'Cause it's driving me nuts having the Starborn suit and the Starborn ship.
Got you.
The Starborn suit is garbage when you're at level 127 on Extreme. I get one shot by everything. I'll get in that more later, but man, I cannot take a hit.
Oh, jeez. Well, I mean, mods.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna cheat it this time. I'm not giving myself credits. I'm gonna earn them and build my ship the legit way. Find a legit suit.
There you go. See, that's why we have the two of us. We're the perfect pair for this show because I absolutely cheat horribly. I'm sorry. Craftable Blackout. I think that's $1. Aventech was $4, and then I also finally got Escape. I haven't played it yet.
You got my hopes up and you just crushed them.
I haven't been to Neon yet. I'm running around doing stuff with Constellation members right now.
I expect a full report next episode.
You got it, man.
All right.
I'm on it. So, so like I said, I'm currently working on gathering Constellation crew. I'm really having a hard time committing to the bad guy thing.
It's tough. Oh, it's so tough.
It is, and I don't know if I can do it this time around. So what I'm thinking about doing this time, I think I'm just going to go main quest.
That's cool, man. I got the a-hole playthrough covered right now.
Right. Copy.
The blood shower playthrough, whatever you call it.
The blood shower, yeah. We don't need two psychos on the show at the same time. So I think I'm gonna go through the main quest after I do Escape. And from there,
Good answer.
From there, after I go through NG, then I'll go do full bad guy thing.
Dude, I am just excited to hear about you going through Escape because I know it's right up your alley. You're gonna absolutely love it. I just really want to know what you think.
I'm excited to try it. I'm excited. I will definitely let you know. I'm gonna do that one first. I'm gonna do that one first because I know I have a couple other. What do I got? I got the hatch. That was a free quest. I think I mentioned that last episode. I got another one. I think it's Old New Atlantis or something. It's supposed to be like a treasure hunt thing. Okay. So yes, Escape is. I promise. And I don't mean this in the I'm gonna do an evil playthrough way. I mean it. I'm really actually going to play as my next is Escape.
I love escape rooms in real life. They're one of my favorite things to do. I just did an escape room in Bakersfield.
I always want to do one. I never have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
When I get out to Michigan, I'm going to have to grab Archon. We're going to go meet up with you. We're doing a dang escape room.
There's one I know there's one in Novi. It's like 15 minutes from my house.
I did one here in Bakersfield. The room design was terrible. The puzzles were terrible, but I still had fun.
It looks like it would be super fun.
They are. They're a lot of fun.
I've just never really had a chance. Like we have a few around Metro Detroit actually. I just never had a chance to actually do one yet.
You got to get a group of 2 or 3 people at least and go through it. It's so much fun. And that's what when I saw the quests that they did, I was like, okay, this is giving me escape room vibes completely. So I got really into it. And it started out escape room vibes all the way, and the entire way it's what it was. And the story's good too. So it was best of both worlds.
There's one out, and we're doing a little tangent here, but
that's fine.
There's one out in Port Huron I was supposed to do. I was supposed to be going camping with a buddy, and Port Huron is about another half hour from where we were camping. And the one I was planning on signing us up for was like an escape room, but it's for 2 people, and you're on an airplane.
Oh,
yeah.
I did one in Hollywood.
That's not really cool. Yeah,
with my ex-girlfriend. On her birthday, we took her couple friend too. And we went to Hollywood and did an escape room on the boulevard, and that was the most fun I have ever done. You start out in this tomb, and it feels like you're in a tomb. You got to solve all the puzzles, and it unlocks a pathway into like this research room or like what's the word I'm looking for? Laboratory.
Oh, okay.
You have to solve all the laboratory puzzles in there, and it unlocks where the story continues. And it's like a big story, and we wind up on a boat that needs to get restarted to get us to safety, and it felt like you were on a boat. It was crazy, and it was so much fun. We wound up beating it with 10 minutes left.
Oh, nice. That sounds like you're almost in a movie.
It felt like it. It was crazy. That's one of the best rooms I've ever been in.
That's great, dude. Yeah, my playthrough.
Right, let's back to where we're at. Back to the regular programming.
Nothing too crazy. I took Sarah to track down Artifact Beta,
Okay.
and you know the part where you have to sneak by the Zealots to get to the space station to get the data to find out where that ship is. I didn't.
Yes.
I did not sneak at all. I thought about it for a hot minute, and it was actually I was there was actually a Serpent's Embrace option on the dialogue tree talking to Sarah. I didn't take it.
No?
I should have, but I didn't. And it's like, well, I'm going to tell you what it is you're telling Sarah. It's like, I'm going to tell you what to say, and you're going to distract them with, some like great serpent words, like holy word or something like that. And I'm like, no, I'm going to see if I can take these guys out.
Didn't really fit your RP.
And I was like, no, not really. I'm like, I'm not going to sneak. Why would I sneak? So I ended up just, turning the prow that direction, powered up my weapons, my engines, and my shields, and full blast, hit the boost. All of a sudden, they start shooting at me. Big dogfight. Well, not really a big dogfight. I took them out pretty quick, but
The last time I did that and I tried doing that, I got wiped out.
well, you're playing on extreme. I'm playing on normal. Actually, I should probably up my difficulty for spaceship combat. It's a little too easy for me now.
Especially in normal combat too, because you get better drops.
It's also true.
It doesn't matter with me though. I still get garbage.
No, right? You have widget style luck.
The laws of luck for me don't exist.
Well, I almost had an unlucky moment after this, because then I think you go to Neptune next.
Yeah.
And you find the ship, and then it turns on you, right? It starts firing at you.
Right.
And that was the exact moment that I realized I had no EM weapons on my ship.
Yeah, the front.
So
you're not using the Frontier, are you?
Yeah, but I rebuilt it. Remember, I turned it into like a Teo build.
See, that's when I did that quest. I was using the Frontier. That's why I got wiped out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I spent X amount of money upgrading it, so it's got a little bit more bite to it than the actual Frontier.
So no EM weapons, so you couldn't incapacitate it. What about targeting?
Nope. Yeah, I had to target it, and even then, targeting it, I took it down to like a sliver of health left, trying to take out the engines, almost. But I got it. I didn't destroy the ship. I shut the engines down, went inside, cleaned house, got the artifact.
Nice.
So I wrapped that up, and I went back. Samco, Cora is not abnormally large, so that's cool.
The world is back to normal.
It's actually really cool. It was actually kind of cool. I had a moment like, oh, that's kind of awesome. On the new ship that I built, I used G-Tech Hab, which is one of the Hab mods.
Right.
And it's not horrible. It's nice that it's a little different, and a lot of them are pretty substandard. But what they do have is they have a module that's a garage, and it's not like the one that I was talking about before. I mean, yes, you have the Rev 8 in there, and the Rev 8 is vanilla. It's not even painted like yours is, but it has like a hatch in the floor. Like the suggestion that the hatch would lower down with the Rev 8 on top of it. But there's a little console in there, and Cora was in there with a little tablet, like, in front of it. I'm like, okay, all right, future mechanic, go for it, man. It actually looks like
that's interesting.
Doing work.
A little.
Yeah, it was just it was a nice little moment. I'm like,
quality
right,
of
cool.
life. That's what that is.
I didn't talk to her because I didn't want to get drawn into a thing. But I'm just like, approved. All right, carry on.
Keep at it.
So Aquila is the next game thing I'm going to do, and then I'll go get Barrett and Andrasia.
No, it's not.
But you're right. I will amend my notes. So Escape is the next thing, and then I'll go to Aquila.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, there you go. So I was playing around, obviously, with this new build. I was playing around with some more mods. I got the G-Tech, which I just mentioned.
Right.
Shroud Premium Edition. That one's really cool. I'm gonna have to build. I think with that one, I'm gonna have to build a ship that is ugly as sin, but is absolutely got every hab, just so I can explore them all. The G-Tech ones are cool. Actually, one of the habs I like. Well, they have like a 3x1 living quarters, which is really sweet, and it's got a little workout area. I mean, it's long and narrow, but it's got a workout area. It's got a little TV area, dining area, kitchenette. Everything is in there. And what I like about the crew, they got crew habs. The numbers don't add up because the crew habs add. They're 1x1s. They add 6, I think, but there's only like 4 beds in there.
Okay.
But if you are coming in through the wall, you only have 3 beds. But they're just like a little, circle of, little nice tight little areas. So the cool thing about that being that, you don't need a whole bunch of them and they don't take up a lot of space. The Stroud Premium Edition has so much. They have all different kinds. They have a bedroom for Cora.
Really?
They have that's also a 1x1. So a bedroom just for Cora, and then you also have the doctor's quarters.
Now, if they had
I don't have.
a love nest, an Andrasia love nest tab, I'd be all in. I get it.
Well, you're gonna want Matilla for that one, and it's a 2x2 captain's quarters.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna build a big beast of a ship with that one. Now, I was as I was going through my notes, I did remember this one. This is critical. I don't think I might have mentioned this before. I don't know if I have. It's called Proper Companion Previews, and I cannot recommend this one enough because what this one does. And I just realized it the other day because I was putting stuff on Thera, and what it does is when you go into your inventory to transfer stuff over, it's the other character that's on the screen, so you can see what you're putting on them, what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
On their character, not your own. The catch is that all of your other, it still looks like you're wearing your gear, but when you're going through like the outfits, like you'll see how like it's your gear on them. So then you have to go through and kind of look at it. It's definitely worlds above and beyond what we have been dealing with. The only other issue I'm having right now is Martyr Spacesuit auto hide doesn't seem to be working properly, and I do not know why, because it's not hiding my spacesuit like it's supposed to.
Oops.
But
I just use a default, man.
Yeah, I just, it was working for a while, and it works great, where it hides, in certain situations, it takes your helmet off, and other situations, it takes the whole spacesuit off automatically. And it was working really well.
It's funny.
Why it's not, I don't know.
You and I really couldn't be more opposite in our play styles in this game.
Right.
I'm all stealth and kill things from a distance. Sneaky everywhere. I don't care about the looks. I mean, the only thing I've ever cared about was Andrasia's look, but I'm not even having a companion this playthrough. I'm just going for it.
Well, it doesn't even matter. Yeah.
I like building ships, but not to the extreme you do it. I'm minimal in my mods. I do not cheat for my own thing. It's just my own preference. Yeah. It's cool. It works.
It's nice. It jives. It really does.
If we both had the same kind of playthrough, it'd be boring. So,
that is true.
Back to the mess of Arun Kai.
Okay.
That's a mess. I had to do the cave mission after doing the first, kill his son, bring him his dead son's ring, and laugh about it.
Right.
I had to go and do the whole holy thing, and I used every option to harass that holy lady. She's a kook. She's full of it, and still made me go do it. And it was interesting. I had to save quite frequently because I was battling these phantoms in the crater. And I had my hard target out. I had one in my scope. I was completely invisible. I was hidden. I pulled the trigger, and I'm not kidding. As soon as I pulled that trigger, the guy blinked away. And he appeared right in front of me and fell over dead.
Amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, they kept seeing me all the time. I'm fully silenced. I don't have my awesome Ryujin suit that I normally have, so that could be a factor in it.
Maybe.
I did that cave, and I actually turned the music on this time, because I have not heard the Shattered Space music, and I really enjoyed it. I still like having my music off. I like that ambience of it, but the music for Shattered Space so far is pretty cool. I'll give it that. And it's kind of creepy with the what's his name, chanting. You see his footsteps on the cave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was creepy. So I talked to him, and I'm glad I saved very, very frequently in that cave, because it took me 8 tries to get through that cave.
Oh, wow. Really?
Every single
just to
horror.
Get in or to get out?
To get out. Every horror would blink behind me.
Oh, man.
They would just blow me a kiss, and I'd fall over dead. Even the little ones. It was a mess. It took me forever. I was not having it. Because all I have really that's a good weapon right now is my hard target. I have some advanced white quality weapons. They're okay. Like, I completely got rid of that mod I was using, the guns mod for the sniper rifle.
Yeah.
The assault rifle and that was just, no, not having it. So I was using my hard target, and I'm getting really, really good at starting to quick scope.
Okay.
Doing those short mid-range shots, I can get now where I can take them out with that. It takes more shots.
Right.
I even got to a situation on the crater when I got out of that stupid cave where there were 8 phantoms out in the open.
Oh, wow.
I sniped 2 of them, but then I got into a firefight with the other 6, and I was doing quick scope up close, and I took out all of them without getting touched.
Wow.
And thankfully, most of them dropped 50 cal ammo, and because they all carried hard targets for some reason, so I didn't waste as much ammo.
Jeez.
But I'm going through a lot of 50 cal.
I just thought you're pulling your own bullets back out.
Yeah. Let me get the surgical and
let me
put the
get
glasses
that back,
on,
please.
the microscope. I need that back right there.
Have you done the do you do the ammo crafting?
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
did that on
okay.
my last playthrough, especially when it came to the 40 millimeter grenade shots.
6L or whatever it
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
XPLs. Is that stuff you can't find that very often. At least not for me. So I had to craft a lot of them.
No. Yeah.
And unlike the other ammo where you can craft 10 or 12 at a time, this you only craft one 40 millimeter. So you need a
I mean,
lot of
that kind of
materials.
track. Right. Makes sense.
The nice thing though, like I said though, in the Varun, they carry a lot of 50 caliber at my level. So I'm breaking even. I'm hovering right around 300 rounds right now.
Right on.
And I
Not
love
too
that hard
bad.
target. And I complained about the elemental and the bleed effect on it last
Yeah.
episode,
You did.
but I am going to apologize and say now it's useful because when I'm
Yeah.
doing these short range shots in the moment,
Yeah.
I'm not one shotting them. I'm not sneaking. All my bonuses are gone. So it takes
Right.
me a few shots to take them out, and that came in useful so many
So
times. The
that's where
elemental,
that's where it's paying
the
off
bleed
right
effect,
there.
yeah. I
Yep.
had one
Makes
guy,
sense.
I took him out. He had a quarter life left, but I saw he was on fire and bleeding to death. So I left him alone with someone else. I came back, he's dead.
Nice. There you go.
And you notice that there's a few random people that walk around the crater, regular NPCs.
Okay.
And I was on
Okay.
my way
Yeah.
back to do my next house quest, and there was this one, Zamira Valek. She looked
That sounds
interesting.
familiar.
Yeah, she's a
Okay.
regular NPC down there. And I talked to her. Even just talking to the basic NPCs around, you start getting into conversations and you learn more and more of the background. She worked as a manager in the Cultural Center, which is the museum that you see in the Citadel later on.
Oh, okay.
She was going off about the displays and how she was in charge of building displays and then taking the kids through their own field trip day, which is her favorite day. But she said that she did not agree with a large amount of those displays that she didn't do because they were pandering during the war.
Oh,
I thought it was really cool.
it was pretty awesome. Well, I mean, it's nothing that the UC didn't do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I did House Kadik next. The very unfortunate
Yeah.
name of a house. I'm going to stick with that because I laugh every time I see it like a 5-year-old.
Deep, deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that with an accent. That's how it's
PC
said.
here.
Okay. Let's be
Kadik.
clear.
Kadik.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a French word for. I was almost going to bleep myself there, but.
Yeah.
And I remembered that this quest has a very interesting side twist to it. And that's when that lady pulls you aside and says, look, we're working with the zealot. She is, I think it's the most terrible thing in the world. So I want you to set it up where you kill everybody. So you get the side mission where you have to kill everybody and then blame it on the zealots so that the lead lady just cuts all ties with the zealots. I didn't do that last time.
Right.
I saved the scientist. Thought she was kind of cute. And I saved everybody. You know, the good boy playthrough. But I went down there and my full intent to kill everybody.
Right.
Including the scientists and all the hostages and everything. I want to see how that played out. I got down to the bottom, and I snuck through it like I always do. Went through the vents and everything like that. So there was a few I left alive up there.
Right, right.
And I saved it right before I talked to the scientist. I wanted to talk to her and see if I can get the data before I kill her. But it turns out if you talk to her, you can't kill her after that. She's invincible.
Really?
She'll take a
So there's
50
no
cal
going back on
to the
that.
head, and yeah. But I had to reload,
Wow.
and I just pulled my hard
Okay.
target out and took her out.
Before you even talk to her, you just walk in and just
walk
cap her.
in, just capped her out. And so I
Okay.
got her data off of her corpse. Went to the computer myself, unlocked the cages and everything, and went around doing the most a-hole thing I could do, and that's just, oh hi hostages, plap plap, and they're sitting there staring at me. What's going on? As they fall over dead.
Right.
Some guy comes in with a hard target 50 cal sniper rifle, just popping everybody. And the quest wouldn't update. I killed all the hostages and everything, but it wouldn't update. Said, and I read it. It says no survivors at all. So I went down around that entire facility for maybe an hour.
Oh.
Looking for all
Having
the
to
zealots.
find everybody you bypassed. Oh, gotcha.
I wiped everybody out in there, and it still was not updated. Turns out I had to go outside the facility, where there was still another 4 or 5 guards roaming. I had to kill them to do it.
See. Yeah, I didn't even realize there was vents in that mission. I went through the front gate, run and gun.
Yeah.
That's, I played a solo in Cyberpunk. Like, that's my play style, like running and gunning.
No, this is like how my playthrough's going.
Wait, how did, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I got to ask, at the end of that, so was there a meeting?
Yes.
Or was there okay, there was.
How
did that part go?
I'm going to get into that in just a second, because that was interesting. That was
cool. Okay.
When I got to the hideout originally, before I started capping everybody inside, there was 2 guards that are outside. I took them out easily. 2 shots, done. I walk up to the door, and I fall over dead.
Oh.
There was a turret. I didn't see a level 97 turret that just one-shot me.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, if
That's
I took
brutal.
any damage, I was dead from anything.
Wow.
So I had to be very, very surgical with this thing. And I did. I pulled it
Yeah.
off. I only had to reload twice.
Bad.
Well, I got done with the whole mission, took my Rev 8, went all the way to the meeting spot, went in there and died. And my last save was inside the building. So I had to go kill everybody again and go, go do the Rev
Oh,
8.
jeez.
But you get to that meeting spot and they say, oh, he's here. And she asks you, how did the situation go with the hostages? And I said, well, you had 3 options to lie to her. No other else, just
Oh,
3
okay.
lies. I lied to her saying, yep, I got there. They were all dead. I am so sorry. Everyone dead. And then she
Yeah.
goes off on him. Like, oh, you thought you could fool me. There's no negotiation. You have no basis whatsoever. I'm cutting all ties from you. And the guy freaks out, the zealots, and he's like threatening me. And with this playthrough, you don't do that. So the first option that said attack, oh, it was on. I took out my
FAFO.
took my hard target and went to town. And they almost killed me. And they're easy.
Yeah. See, when I played through that, I was trying so hard to be cool for that part. I saved all the hostages. I did all the things I was supposed to do to be a good boy.
That's what I
And I
did too
got
in
to
the
the
first
meeting.
one.
I got to the meeting though, and the dude just kept running his mouth at me, and I'm like, finally, I was like basically like chesting up, like, like what are your options? You have no options. He didn't like that either, so he's like, is this gonna be it? And I just exited out of the conversation, just pulled up the Beowulf, and pop, 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 pop. That's it. It was a wrap.
It was so much fun eliminating all the zealots. And I mean, I still felt like a complete a-hole killing all the hostages.
Well, right.
And the cute scientist who's full of herself. But
Right.
yeah, Sahima is her name, I think.
Yeah. Zahima. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
So I purged it. I did it. And I got one more house to go. And as soon as I finished that house, it unlocked the armory for me again after only doing 2. I think it's a particular ones you have to do that unlock it.
Oh, okay.
The next one is
I just read those too.
Yeah. Next one's the healing one, the healing house. And I don't remember what the bad option is on that one. I'll have to get into that. Because each one of these quests had those options where you can do something complete a-hole-ish to complete it. And I'm going to do it. And I'm still debating how I want to finish the game. Do I want to let the Jihad come back, the whole Holy War restart? Do I want to just basically flip everybody off and get excommunicated from Varun Kai? I haven't decided yet.
I feel like starting a whole ass war would actually probably be the worst thing you could do.
That's what I was thinking.
Like, I mean, we talked about this before too. Like, you'd definitely be like screwing over the Varun.
Yeah, give the control. And I was thinking, okay, so there's a point where you can either kill all the super soldiers that are in cryo or let them live. I might. Right. I'm going to save it before, and I'm going to kill all the super soldiers because that's my bloodlust thing in me. And then I'm going to give the Holy War, and I want to see what happens, what they say. Well, we're starting a Holy War again, but our soldiers are all dead.
Right.
So I'm curious. Screw them up even more.
I would be really curious to see how that turned out.
That's what I'm going to do. That's one of my goals. I'm going to do that. I'm going to finish the last house. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do some of the side missions as well, like my favorite one where I get to snipe everything. Nothing will survive. But I'm going to do the new perfect recipe first. That's on one of my lists to get that done, the new one. So yeah, that was just me being a complete a-hole and actually kind of enjoying it in a way which scares me.
Hey, it can be fun, man.
Yeah, it's been interesting. And it's definitely a big change in the story and what you do. And I'm glad I don't have a companion. They would despise me and spit on me and leave already.
Yep. Well, there's a mod for that. Also, you're gonna want it before you get to the keep. You should probably get Shattered Space, better rewards.
Oh,
I'll send you.
Okay.
Yeah, better rewards, because that's the one that has the thing where it like reworks the keep so that you can actually get Varun weapons in the
armory.
Yeah, for the armor ammo.
Yeah, send me that link later. Speaking of mods,
what a segue!
Killing it, man.
Oh, goodness. Killing it. So I have noticed something that I wanted to mention here, and I looked it up a little bit, and it seems like how a mod gets monetized, it's up to Bethesda and it's up to the creator.
Right.
Well, what I've noticed, and I can't confirm because I haven't dug deep enough into it, but it seems like some mods are switching over to being paid mods automatically, and the price is going up with popularity.
I don't think that they get switched over automatically. That is a choice of the modder. But the price, I'm not sure how they do the price setup, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, because I think it was Trinity Luxury Hebs was one I think I noticed, and I'm pretty sure race yards went up. So I'm not. Some of these mods that are safe or not safe, safe is relative when it comes to modding,
Right.
but that are paid mods, like they start off free, and then maybe the creators like, hey, a lot of people are liking this, let's throw a price tag on it.
It's possible.
So just something to consider. Yeah, when I bring up these mods, you might want to get them quick because like one of the mods I already had downloaded, I didn't have to pay for it when I switched. So, but a couple of interesting ones this week that I wanted to bring up. We have ZSW airlocks by Go-Array. I found pictures. I'm going to put up in the Discord because I downloaded
that's
a picture
what
on
that
one of
picture
the.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, the Facebook group. Yeah, I did put it in there. Yeah, it came from a Facebook group. It's DSW Airlocks by Go-Array, and it adds airlocks that supposedly allow you to spacewalk. This is definitely a use at your own risk thing.
Yeah,
but
I would second that.
Yeah, I did see pictures of it on Facebook. It does apparently work. The next one I have is Outpost Habs Foundation Adjustment, and I know this is one that some Outpost builders have complained about, and what it does is increases the max foundation height for Outpost Habs, meaning you can build on steeper slopes and things like that. So there are 3 different mods in this. That the main one is the one I just said, but then there's like another one for the observatory and then something else. So
I'm gonna put a little warning caveat on that because the reason why a lot of these games will put height restrictions on these things is because of data load. And if you go above that, it could overload data and it could cause massive issues on your saves.
Yes.
So
and this is something that. Yep, and if you've played Fallout 4 and done the settlement building at all with mods, you know what this is all about. So definitely what Wigit said. And then the other one that I found that I just thought was really cool aesthetically is called Better Landing Bays by Grooves Games. And basically all this does is replace vanilla landing bays with ones that are better decorated, and they even include a non-functional washout shower.
Okay.
So I guess like the role play thing of like you're washing the dirt of the planet off for walking your ship or whatever.
Yeah, which makes sense.
That's
you never know what you're tracking in.
That's a couple of cool ones I found this week, aside from the ones I mentioned in my playthrough, stuff like that. So yeah,
awesome.
There's some good ones out there. Yep.
Well, guys, that's going to be it for this week's episode. So stay tuned for next week. I'm going to hit up the new perfect recipe. My boy Kilo's going to hit up Escape. I'm holding him to it.
Yes, absolutely.
And if anyone could find out
I'm on it.
Verified information about weapon unlock levels and what weapons go to each, tier, let me know, because I looked for hours. I couldn't find anything.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, if you guys want to reach out to the show for advertising, for any kind of business, the best way to do that, other than Discord, is going to be through our email, and that's starfieldраw@gmail.com. Okay, and our Discord is definitely the place to be. Discord.gg/raw podcasts, RAWPODCASTS. Remember, you can find a link to our Discord on most all of our social medias, including Facebook, which is Raw Podcast. Our Instagram
is Raw Podcast 1,
because Raw Podcast was taken for some reason. Our Twitter.
That was my Will Arnett. Did you like that?
Yeah.
Raw Podcast 1. That's not bad.
You can follow us on X at Starfield Raw. You can reach us individually as well. I am at The Wigit, THEWIGIT, everywhere. If you can't find it, search The Wigit, you'll find it.
And you can find me at Kilo Tango 1122 everywhere.
Have a fantastic week out in the stars, everybody.
After work today, I went to the library. I checked out a book on anti-gravity. I can't put it down.